Okay, here we go. Now we can get started. Lesson number 6. Oh, and we can unmute too. I don't know if there's any sound of these. Oh, David King, lovely. What a great touch by Benjamin Stephan. All right, we're off to epee, which is just hit him with the pointy end somewhere, and then if the light goes off, you get a point. Michel Sicard is one of the absolute top coaches of all time, and he posted a series of 26 attacks, defend and induced attack. We did this one. I feel like we already had a defend and induced attack video. Oh well. Anyway, an induced attack, you induce your opponents to attack. You do some kind of a threatening action or false opening, and they attack you. In this case, it's Grumier's half step forward. Sicard is coming in. Grumier is counterattacking to the top over the hand. Induce the attack, come over the top, hit the arm. The important thing here is that Grumier is not overcommitting to his initial attack. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If he's not ready, see, nothing happens. He just goes back and resets. If he's not forcing anything, he's just taking the time to do it. This is, I'm not sure, Rembi maybe? I can't see the back. Same kind of deal. Go low, draw out the attack, pop the wrist. The actions are never important. What's important is the concept that he's dealing with here. It's draw out the attack at your distance, and then don't overcommit, but be threatening, and then be ready for whatever your opponent's trying to do. And if you don't get it or they don't respond, do it reset, try again, be patient. This is good because you don't want to be using the your opponent's blade really as a guide for how far you are. You want to be using your opponent, because the blade will be changing as they come in and out. I've done one beeper lesson. It was so distracting. Every time I did an action, I was trying to listen for the beep instead of trying to see if I got it right. But you can usually feel if you hit, so. Great disengage by Grumier. Grumier, now a high level coach himself. Gaetan Bia just made the semis in Nanjing or Buenos Aires. That's right, the women were in Nanjing. The men were in Buenos Aires. Coached by Grumier. One, two. One of the things that's really important in epee, especially more than the other two weapons, is that you always have to be ready for the next sequence. In saber, if you plan to fail, you're going to fail. Because if you don't get your hit all the way out, the attack is so strong you have to take full advantage of it. In epee, you're very likely to miss. And so you always have to be ready for the next action. Go to the arm, but don't go too far, so you're ready for the parry or the riposte or the disengage or whatever you need. And I would see it for real though in Rembi. It was Rembi. It's the same action. It's watch that one more time because I wanted to describe it. Poke, disengage around. Drawing out Krivskaya's attack from just out of distance and then disengage counterattacking. Modern pentathlon, that's what it is. Number 7. What do we got now? Attack on the preparation. Maybe they're just sequences of 5. So we talked about an induced attack last action, which was you do something to draw out an attack from your opponent. That something you do is an example of a preparation. So this is sort of the counter to it. If your opponent is making a preparation, and you can find the timing, you hit them for it. Or possibly it's building backwards, where your opponent is trying for an attack and prep and you induce it by prepping. Could go either way. So here it's, the prep is Sicard step forward, Sicard, the man in the coaching jacket, the black. And then the flesh or the lunge from Gérant. But it's not every time, and it's only when Gérant is ready for it. And then Gérant is ready for the continuation, if there is one. If he's not, if you flesh, you run away. It's very important that you start your attack, if you're doing an attack on prep, the moment your opponent takes a step forward. And you're smooth with it going forward. If you wait for them to finish their step, they'll be ready to deal with your action and you'll be a half tempo behind. I don't like this view. No GoPro on the chest, please. That's aesthetic, but not useful. It's very aesthetic though. That's great B-roll footage. Sicard's just throwing in random nonsense to make his fencers learn to deal with random nonsense. And the best way to deal with random nonsense is not to overcommit and to keep balanced and be ready. I'm not sure these technical drills have much to do with the actual point of the lesson. I think they're just a bunch of variations he does as part of every lesson. One to the wrist. Miss to the foot, but he's ready because he's not overcommitting. And notice also, oh, that was really pretty. When he goes to the foot, his body is still upright. He's not leaning over and falling into it. He's just dipping lower with his hips and his knees. And that leaves him ready to do future actions going high line. Great action to the thigh. That was really good. Sicard getting an opposition in. That's not really the action because that's a parallel post. Gérant's so good. That was 7. So we have 9, 10, 12. 21, 17, 8. If you're watching this on YouTube for probably the last time tonight, please join us on the Discord. Should be in the video description. I missed the attack. Mulhausen is so good. Watch my video of her. Like Mulhausen on fire. She's absolutely phenomenal, just destroying everything for like 2 tournaments in a row. It was insane. This one's about finding the time that your opponent is committed to something, or maybe on their step forward, and hitting them. In this case, it's a really fancy flick to the thigh, but if you're not that good, don't worry about it. That's such a pretty touch. I can't get over that. That's so cool. Take. And not overcommitting, keeping her body upright. It goes to the, and then she can get around again, which is harder with the French grip, really. You know, it's beat attack. It's really a beat attack is one tempo. You beat on the way in to shock the blade as you go around. Although that's really a 2-tempo action. Now that I look at it, it's 1 take, 2 down. She's just doing it smoothly. That's it. Yeah, it's disengage, go. All your attack actions basically have to have a prep, and the 1 tempo, 2 tempo, when it comes to actions, is about whether or not you've committed to the 2 actions at once. So it's take to draw a reaction, then 1 high. Cat Locator says she seems to be half pommeling as well. I am not a fan of the term half pommeling. Basically, all pommelers hold it with the pommel somewhere around the wrist, some a little higher, some a little lower. The idea of calling that half pommeling means that some people are holding it like all the way up here, so the pommel itself is in your palm, and nobody really does that. It's all about holding it where you're comfortable, or most people don't do that. If you or the woman do, so it's all, as far as I'm concerned, it's all pommeling unless you're holding it up by the grip. And the women who do half pommel have all the blade work and all the control they need anyway. Great little touch to the wrist. I also have to admit that I'm not a fan of the term half pommeling, because the first time I heard it was a very odious fan who got into an argument with me online. But I still think it's not really a thing. There's a take again, and the lunge out. Natalie Mulhausen. Natalie Mulhausen, not only a phenomenal fencer, she is the grande dame of fencing. Organizes like the FIE Gala. I was following her on Instagram for a while. She was posting about that. She did a Sarah Besbis highlight reel. Defense. I wonder if there'll be actions here. Maybe not. Okay, so that's what it is, I think, is you make an attack. What's yes again? So it seems like where we had one that was defending against an induced attack before, it was counterattack into an induced attack. And this is parry an induced attack. Or sometimes not even an induced attack, just an attack. Oh my god. That's actually really important. See if we can get a view of the tip. Yeah, okay. Nope. Balls. Hit the wrong button. Do we have better quality? No. Okay. Sicard's tip is here when the fencer goes to parry. Not here, here. And this is where you want it to be. If you parry here, they have lots of time to disengage. If you parry here, they are more committed to the attack, and your parry will be more likely to succeed. It will be much harder for them to disengage. And he's actually even closer than that, but I can't get a good view of the footage. Yeah, attack misses. Okay. So this is about parries, but it's also about your coach is just going to go sometime. Casse, I don't know who that is. Lead with the tip when you parry. Yeah. So that's not all induced attacks, that's also your opponent just parrying. That's fun. That's a fun action. High, low, high, boom, bam. High, low, parry, riposte. This is a different technical exercise. So this is a variation on the technical drills where the coach is initiating, the fencer has to make some kind of blade contact. Depending on how the coach responds, the fencer does something. To tie in better with the defensive drill that was all about parries. That's probably a mistake from Casse. With no 6 beat. That's so cool. High, low, high, deep. This drill is so hard. Okay, I would call that more of a coupe maybe, but he's just calling it a beat, which is fine. You can see he's going blade contact in. So, okay, so he's not doing parries, he's just doing blade contact, he's calling those beats. Philosophically speaking, the difference between a beat and a parry is that a beat is an offensive move and a parry is a defensive move, which matters in foil and saber. In epee, on a more practical level, a beat is about freezing your opponent's blade shortly, so they kind of like tense up when you hit them, and that gives you the opportunity to finish your attack. Gives you time to go get in close enough that they can't parry you. And a parry is about stopping their attack coming at you. Generally, you would hold a parry longer, whereas the beat is kind of just a glancing blow like that. But if you're going to parry, so the actions where he's farther out is a beat. The actions where he's close, the parry comes close, is a parry. Simon Cassé. I don't know him because he's a pentathlete. I feel better about that. Attack on prep again. Must be a different variation of it. Let's see what we got. Yannick Burrell. Go. You probably can't see it, honestly. Straight up, I don't know. Like, it took me 3 tries to see it. It's the tiny little step forward that the coach is doing before Yannick goes. And, maybe you watch it on slow motion later. It's a little step forward, that's the prep. That, no. That, yes. With the circle beat that we did in the last lesson. He's not, other things to notice, same thing as before, Yannick is not taking every opportunity. He's waiting for his moment. That's a step that he doesn't do anything. That's when he goes. Even if you're good at it, if you go every time, your opponent will be able to see it coming. Search, preemptive search, which is a kind of preparation. Yannick looks for the 6, doesn't find it, waits for the blade to come back, and then goes. Disengage goes. If you have Yannick Burrell's skill level, these are openings for you. And so, as a newer fencer looking to get good, see these as openings. And then see how many bigger openings than this your opponent gives you. And straight lunge, good extension. Doesn't need to be super explosive, just smooth and fast. See, look at that. Look at this from a purely technical perspective here. I'm going to go back 5 seconds. Good. Look at Yannick's leg here. Settings, playback speed, 7.5. Achilles, this one's for you. Technical stuff. Look at Yannick's leg. Straight forward. His back leg. Look how it is. It's bent. This is his on guard. He's on guard. And then all it does is extend. It starts bent and it pushes. What you don't want to do is have it start bent. Come in to give you more explosive, and then go out. Because when you go in, that's when you're committed to the lunge, and that's when your opponent will respond, and that's enough time for them to parry you or get out of the way or counterattack or anything they want. That's really important. When I say go forward, I mean, everything pushes you towards the opponent, even if it's less explosive. Oh, Yannick got hit. Trying for a 6 and not going back far enough. All through the action, you have to keep distance. This is what an average customs agent in France looks like. This is the training they do every day to make sure nobody's sneaking anything through security. Keep your tip up all the way through the extension if it one hits like that. I mean, you can see it. His bell, even though his tip is down, his bell is still pointing up, even at the end. The boom of a Yannick Burrell lunge landing. 1, 2. Amazing. That's so fast. Oh my God. That's not what Sicard wanted. But Burrell is so fast he got that touch in anyway. The one who went in 6 in a round. Forgot where my camera was for a second. Got like disengaging mid lunge. That's Paolo Pizzo. Supposed to have, he has the most idiosyncratic fencing epee style of anybody. All right, that's what we got. Thank you all for joining me. I'll see you in the Discord, or if not, next week, Sunday. Have a good night.